Hello, welcome to Positive Psychology. I'm your professor, Beth Wilson, and I just wanted to spend a few minutes going over what this course is about and what would be expected of you if you choose to take this course. Hopefully, it's preview week, and that's what you're doing is looking at your courses and seeing if these are the ones that you want. So let me first direct you to this list here, the getting started list, right? So you're already taking care of number one, you're viewing this video. Next, if you want to know more about me, there's a little link up here, my instructor, right? So a lot of what you need to when you need to navigate, you're going to use these links over here on the left. I have more than you. You have a more concise list. The next thing you're going to do is make sure to review the Blackboard student orientation, particularly if you have never taken an online class or used Blackboard. Blackboard is our learning management system, which you don't see anything that says Blackboard on this site, but that's what's running this program. And the basics of navigating Blackboard can be very helpful. And basically, that's what you want to do this week is make sure you can navigate and find what you need, and that you're familiar with the course, and that you have everything you need to be successful, like a computer that as opposed to using a tablet exclusively or a phone, which when you're relying on Wi-Fi, not just Wi-Fi, but cellular service, it can be a problem taking tests and submitting work. If there's any interruption, you can lose your work. So we recommend using a computer and not relying on cellular service. Okay, so let's see here. The next thing you'll want to do is download the course information sheet. For those of you who haven't been MCC students, that's often called a syllabus, and you can find that here. If we have time, we'll go there in this video. And then a lot of what you'll be doing in this course, the way you'll work through material is going to course content. And then within that are the course modules. There's a module for every week of class, and that's the work that's due that week. And then you notice there's one other thing in this list, which is there is a quiz to gain access to the course modules. Let me show you that. So if we scroll up, go to course content, because remember that's where course modules are, or the units. It's another way to think about them. And what you're going to see is there is a quiz to gain access to the course modules. So every MCC online course requires you to take this quiz. We want to make sure you know what you're getting into, what's expected of online courses, dispel any myths, that kind of thing. And so it's not a hard quiz. You can take it as many times as you want, but you do need to get at least an 85% for the course modules folder to appear. So let me say that again. I'm going to scroll down to show you. It's appeared for me because I am not a student. But for you, the first time you go into course content, you will not see course modules until you get an 85% on this quiz. You click on the quiz, take the quiz, if you get an 85 or higher, you will have this folder that then appears. So you click on that, and then you see our whole semester, all 15 weeks. And I will be making changes. I always make changes and updates, but a lot of the time you won't even know, as long as you're not like working ahead. If you're planning on working ahead at all, make sure you discuss that with me, because you can get into have some problems if you do that. So it's not impossible, but there's a few things like you need to make sure you're posting the discussions in the right week and that kind of thing. There's just a few tricky things. And sometimes my quizzes won't be completely done. So, but I'll work with you. So let me just show you what a module will look like. Actually, I will open up this one. So it gives you a little overview. So typically what you're going to have is this one has 2 chapters in the book. Sometimes there's 1. Sometimes there might even be 3. They tend to be brief. So our textbook is an open educational resource, or an OER, which means you don't have to purchase it. So you can link to it directly through these links. If you really want a print copy, and I understand many people want that, it's very inexpensive. You can get it at our bookstore, probably around $14, $15. The same price if you order it directly from the printer. And I have a link for you to do that. You can also print it out yourself if you wanted. It's probably cheaper to purchase the printed version because, again, it's only $14 or $15. And ink is expensive. So what does it look like? Let's just go to this first chapter in this module, Why Science, and you get an idea. So you can just scroll through and read. This one, not everyone has quizzes you can take. They're the one, they don't count. They're not the quizzes that are within the module, but they can help you prepare. Not every chapter has that. And to have access to it, you do have to log in, register and log in. But it gives you an idea of what that looks like. Another thing that you'll see as you work through the week is I often will have extra articles or videos for you to watch. So this is an extra article and video. So the father of positive psychology, Martin Seligman, came up with this model of happiness, the acronym PERMA. And so this really brief article goes through it, but there's also a longer video of Martin Seligman talking about that. So I would want you to watch that too. Let's go back. And then the other parts, besides doing the reading, watching any videos, you'll want to take notes while you're doing that. So while you're reading and taking, watching videos, make sure you have a notepad, or I probably would have a Word document open and take notes as I went along, because our quizzes are open note. And so instead of you trying to find the source for the information for that question, you should have it right there. It will make it easier to study, because you also should study before you take the quizzes because they are timed. So, and there's a quiz right there. The other 2 things you need to do every week is participate in a discussion, probably my favorite part of any online course. We have great discussions. So like this one, it's what part of the PERMA model really resonates with you, of the 5 parts. I might change that. I'm known to do that. But again, I'll figure that out. You don't need to worry about that. But that's why it's important not to work too far ahead unless you let me know. So what you'll do with the discussion is you will post a response to the question by Wednesday of every week, 11:59. So just before midnight is always the deadline. Don't wait until then. If it's like a second after, it's considered late. So don't wait till the last minute. Really important part of online learning are deadlines and not waiting till the last minute. And then I need you to reply to at least 2 peers in the discussion board by Friday, 11:59 each week. And then by Saturday, I want you to post a journal entry, which is at least 2 paragraphs. It's private. The rest of the class doesn't see that. The discussion board, everyone sees, because it's like having a discussion in class, which is why you can't make those up if you miss those deadlines. The journal is more for you, how this module impacted you, is relevant to you, what stood out for you. And sometimes I'll give you an idea of what you might want to write on. And so I think that's about all. So if you have any questions, let me know. The best way to reach me is by my email, mwilson42@monroecc.edu. All right. Welcome.